on my YouTube channel. All right. So first question is number 2, letter D. It says, what's the limit as x goes to 4 of g of x? So here's g of x graphed here. It's a piecewise function, right? What's the limit as x goes to 4? So here's what that means. When you're on the graph from the left or from the right going toward 4, remember x equals 4 means, right, it's right here. The limit means what would you expect the value to be right before you get to 4? And what's happening no matter if you come from the left or from the right? What would you expect the value to be?
Oh, 1.
Yeah, you'd expect it to be 1. Now it's not 1. The function value is actually -3, but that doesn't matter. Limit doesn't matter what the actual function value is. It just matters what you would expect the value to be. Okay. So that's why that's 1. Okay. Got it?
Yeah. Okay. To be honest, the main part that I was only confused on about it is that what my Calc teacher told me was that what matters is if it's approaching it, and does that mean that, like, by approaching, it's only on the line? Because I understand that even though it doesn't exist, that would be what it's approaching. But is that the answer because it's on the function line, or another reason?
I think I understand what you're asking. So what this means is, I'm going to translate this for you in words that hopefully are a little bit more clear. This means what is, as x gets closer, as the x value gets closer and closer to 4, what does the y value or the g of x value get closer and closer to? As x gets closer to 4, what does the y value get closer and closer to? So in order to find that, you jump on the graph of g of x, you jump on it like if you were on a graphing calculator and you were doing that trace function, remember? And you're just going toward it from the left and from the right. You're getting, and what, as the value of x gets closer to 4 from the left, the value of y, see what the value of y is doing? It's 1 right here, it's 2 right here, it's 1.5 right here. And as it gets closer, as the y value, as the x value rather gets closer to 4, the value, the y value, the g of x value gets closer and closer to 1. And the same is true when you're coming from the right side.
So it is kind of because it's on the actual line, because...
Well, that is what g of x is, the actual line.
Okay, then that does make sense in that case.
Yeah. So I get what you're saying, but that is what g of x is. G of x is this line. And this line contains, this line is basically 2 points. One is your x coordinate and one is your y coordinate. Your x coordinate here is 3, your y coordinate is 2. Right? Your x coordinate here is 2 and your y coordinate is 1. Your x coordinate here is 5 and your y coordinate is -2. But all of those points are on g of x because g of x is that actual line. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
So for letter F, same idea. What would you expect the y value to be as x gets closer and closer to 1? So look at the graph, and as x gets closer, look, I'm over here. This is 1. But on the left, as x gets closer and closer to it, what's happening to the y value?
It's like decreasing towards -infinity.
That's right. And when I'm on the right side of it, what's happening to the y value as I get closer to 1? As I go toward 1 on the right side of it, what's happening to the x value or the y value? It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right?
Mm-hmm. I guess my question was honestly that, oh, are you on slide 2?
Yeah, I'm on slide 2 now.
Oh, okay. So my question would just be I understand why it would be this, why the answer would be do not exist, because both are in opposite directions.
Right.
But if one of them was like this, or they were like going the same direction, would the answer be different, right?
I believe it would be. I believe your teacher would want you to write positive infinity or negative infinity. Yeah, if they were both going in the same direction. But to be honest with you, I'm not sure because I've seen it explained a couple different ways. You know, I've seen textbooks accept. Some people just want you to say does not exist if it's a limit of infinity, and some books want you to say infinity, positive or negative, if that's what it is. So you might want to just ask your teacher. But see, like, look at D. What's the limit as x gets closer to 1 from the right side? Well, it's positive infinity. And the limit as it approaches from the left side, this is wrong here. The limit as it approaches from the left side is negative infinity. Do you see?
I can't really see what you're drawing, if you are drawing anything.
Oh, I'm writing on it. You can't see? Am I not sharing my screen?
You are. It's just not showing up.
Oh, it's not showing up. Sometimes that happens. Well, it shouldn't be happening on Zoom. You should be able to see it on Zoom. But if you're looking at only the Jamboard, you might not see it because sometimes there's a little bit of a lag. But you should be able. You're not you're watching it on Zoom and you can't see it. You can't see my. Is it because it's red? Is it too hard for you to see?
Oh, I see that. I see that.
Okay, so it must be the contrast of the red pen. So this is not 1.5. This is negative infinity because look at the graph and look at how as x goes to 1 from the left, that's over here, the y value is getting closer and closer to negative infinity.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that makes sense. And that's why I asked, like, if the other graph were like, wouldn't it be negative infinity instead of does not exist?
I believe so. I believe you're right.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is I've seen some textbooks tell you one thing and some say another. So maybe ask the teacher.
Okay. Got it. That makes sense then.
All right.
I think that was like pretty much all we learned today. Because to be honest, like it's kind of only like the 5th day of school.
Yeah. All right. No worries. Sounds good. I'll see you tomorrow night. All right.
All right. See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
You too.